Did you know the top 5 scandals that shook the Indian nation? Brace yourselves for a shocking revelation.
More time to appear in the Bengal coal scam case that involves the allegations of coal theft and money laundering.
In one of the biggest gotala or scams the country had ever seen, the 2G spectrum allocation.
That's something we covered extensively 2 years ago when the whole Commonwealth Games scam fiasco actually erupted.
Satyam computer services case, remember, it was awaited today, the 7,123 crore fraud case.
BoforsScandal is back in the news again. The Central Bureau of Investigation is all set to support an appeal for reopening of the case.
We delve into each scam one by one. The coal scam. The coal scam, one of the biggest corruption scandals in India's history, has left the country reeling. It all started when coal mines were allocated to private companies without a fair bidding process and inefficiently allocating coal blocks during 2004 to 2009. Politicians and businessmen colluded to exploit this system, costing the Indian economy billions of dollars. CBI submitted that loss of rupees 1.86 lakh crore to the government exchequer. They manipulated the allocations to benefit themselves and their cronies while causing immense environmental harm. As illegal mining surged, communities suffered the consequences. Their health deteriorated, their water sources became contaminated, and their livelihoods were destroyed. The people demanded justice, but all they received were promises. The issue has received massive media reaction and public outrage. A glimmer of hope emerged when activists, journalists, and whistleblowers exposed the truth. Legal battles were fought, investigations launched, and the truth began to unravel. The public's anger grew, and they demanded accountability. Finally, some individuals were held responsible for their actions. Due to this scam, the Supreme Court decided to cancel 214 out of 218 coal blocks allocated. Since 1993, the 2G spectrum scam. The shocking truth behind the 2G spectrum scam, the largest corruption scandal that shook the nation. It all started in 2007 when the Indian government allegedly sold or allotted 122 2G spectrum licenses on conditions that provided an advantage to specific telecom operators. A. Raja, telecom minister, was accused of selling 2G spectrum licenses at a meager cost, which resulted in the exchequer losing 1.76 rupees lakh crore. And who paid the price for their greed? The ordinary citizens of India. The high prices they paid for mobile services were a direct consequence of this scam. The hopes and dreams of millions were shattered as the corrupt continued to prosper. 80,000-page charge sheet filed by CBI in April 2011. It was brought to the special CBI court in Delhi in 7 trunks, but justice prevailed. In 2012, after a long and arduous legal battle, the court declared the entire allocation of spectrum licenses as illegal and cancelled them. On December 21, 2017, a special CBI court acquitted all the accused. The Commonwealth Games scam. The Commonwealth Games scam was one of the biggest Indian scams involving 70,000 rupees crores. Half the amount allocated was estimated to be spent on Indian sports people. The athletes were supposedly forced to move from those allocated by the authorities to shabby flats. In 2010, India hosted the Commonwealth Games with promises of world-class infrastructure and facilities. However, behind the gleaming facade, a massive swindle was unfolding. The Games Organizing Committee, headed by Suresh Kalmadi, embezzled funds on an unprecedented scale. Billions of dollars for infrastructure development were siphoned off, leaving the nation in shock. Investigations revealed inflated contracts, phantom companies, and forged documents. With no regard for fair play, Kalmadi and his cronies shamelessly exploited the games for personal gain. As the truth emerged, public outrage soared. People took to the streets, demanding justice and accountability. How could those responsible for representing India on the international stage betray their own people? Eventually, the law caught up with the culprits. CWG Organizing Committee Chairman Suresh Kalmadi was suspected of allegedly cheating, conspiring, and inflicting a loss of over Rs. 90 large integer to the general public finances in an exceedingly games-related graft case. Charges were framed beneath numerous provisions of the IPC and also the hindrance of the Corruption PC Act against Kalmadi and 9 others, together with former OC executive Lalit Bunot. Besides cheating and conspiracy, the suspect will also be charged with forgery beneath the IPC and criminal misconduct by public servants beneath the Computer Act. The Satyam scandal. Satyam Computer Services, one of India's largest IT companies, was once a shining star. But, behind the scenes, the company's founder and chairman, Ramlinga Raju, hid a dark secret. Raju had been inflating the company's profits for years, painting an illusion of success. But in January 2009, the truth came crashing down. In an open letter, Raju confessed to falsifying the company's accounts, inflating cash and bank balances, and creating fictitious invoices. It was a devastating revelation that sent shockwaves around the globe. The impact was far-reaching. Thousands of employees faced an uncertain future as the company's true financial picture was revealed. Investors lost millions overnight as the Satyam scandal served as a wake-up call for India's corporate governance. It exposed weaknesses in regulatory bodies and raised important questions about corporate integrity and transparency. The Indian government stepped in to salvage the situation, appointing new leadership and launching investigations into the scandal. Raju and other key players were prosecuted and faced severe penalties for their actions. On April 13, 2009, via a formal public auction process, a 31% stake in Satyam was purchased by Mahindra and Mahindra-owned company Tech Mahindra, as part of its diversification strategy. Effective July 2009, Satyam rebranded its services under the new Mahindra management as Mahindra Satyam. After a delay due to tax issues, Tech Mahindra announced its merger with Mahindra Satyam on March 21, 2012, after the board of two companies approved. The BoforsScandal. The BoforsScandal was a major weapons contract political scandal between India and Sweden during the 1980s and 1990s. It all started when the Indian government signed a deal to purchase howitzer artillery guns from a Swedish arms manufacturer called Bofors. On March 18, 1986, India signed a Rs 1,437 crore deal with Swedish arms manufacturer AB Bofors to supply 400 155mm howitzer guns for the army. A year later, on April 16, 1987, a Swedish radio channel alleged that the company had bribed top Indian politicians and defense personnel to secure the contract. The scandal rocked the Rajiv Gandhi-led government in the late 1980s. But soon, allegations of kickbacks and bribery surfaced. It was alleged that middlemen had received illegal commissions, and politicians were involved in the shady transaction. As the scandal unfolded, it became clear that huge sums of money had been transferred through Swiss bank accounts. This revelation further fueled public anger and suspicion, leading to widespread protests. The scandal eventually led to a political uproar, resulting in the ruling party's downfall. It also profoundly impacted the future of Indian politics, eroding public trust in the government and highlighting the rampant corruption within the system. Years later, the BoforsScandal continues to symbolize India's struggle against corruption. It serves as a reminder that no one is above the law and that the fight for transparency and accountability is an ongoing battle. Subscribe to our channel for more fascinating stories that shape our world.